When it comes to reshaping America's dietary landscape, few promises have sparked as much debate as those made by U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., commonly known as RFK Jr. In a recent video shared by NTD News on August 4th, RFK Jr. vowed to revolutionize the nation's eating habits by overhauling the current dietary guidelines into something far simpler and more impactful. According to him, these new guidelines will not only be drastically shorter, just 4 to 6 pages, but they'll also supposedly change America almost immediately. It's an ambitious claim that has drawn praise from some, but skepticism from others. But here's where it gets controversial. Are his assertions rooted in fact, or are they just another example of misinformation in the nutrition space? Let's dig deeper. RFK Jr., who leads the Make America Healthy Again (MAHA) movement, argues that the existing dietary guidelines are bloated and ineffective. He claims they span a whopping 453 pages and are influenced by corporate interests, going so far as to suggest that sugary cereals like Fruit Loops were placed at the top of the food pyramid due to lobbying pressures. However, this narrative doesn't quite hold up under scrutiny, according to Dr. Matthew Nagra, a Canadian naturopathic physician with expertise in plant-based nutrition and chronic disease prevention. For starters, the actual page count of the current dietary guidelines for Americans 2025 to 2030 is 164 pages, not 453. This isn't some obscure detail, Dr. Nagra pointed out. It literally takes 5 seconds to verify. Furthermore, the outdated food pyramid RFK Jr. references hasn't been used in decades. It was officially retired 20 years ago and replaced by MyPlate, a visual guide introduced in 2011, designed to help people create balanced meals. Contrary to RFK Jr.'s claims, neither version promotes sugary cereals as a dietary staple. And this is the part most people miss. The existing guidelines already include a concise executive summary that condenses key recommendations into just 4 pages. This summary provides clear, actionable advice, while the rest of the document offers evidence-backed research and context. By promising to simplify the guidelines without addressing the need for scientific rigor, RFK Jr.'s plan raises questions. As Dr. Nagra wondered aloud, does he intend to skip the evidence entirely? If so, what would that mean for public health? Speaking of public health, RFK Jr.'s assertion that his streamlined guidelines would bring about rapid societal change seems overly optimistic, is not outright unrealistic. Dr. Nagra emphasized that simply revising the guidelines won't automatically lead to healthier lifestyles. Why? Because most Americans don't strictly adhere to the recommendations in the first place. Instead, meaningful progress requires tackling systemic issues such as making nutritious foods more affordable and accessible, reformulating processed products to reduce their harmful ingredients, and implementing policies that encourage healthier choices on a broader scale. RFK Jr.'s track record on nutrition-related topics adds another layer of complexity to the discussion. Over the years, he has voiced several contentious opinions backed by little to no credible science. For instance, he has been a vocal critic of seed oils, claiming they unknowingly poison consumers when used in fast food, a statement that lacks robust evidence. Similarly, he has advocated for raw milk consumption, despite its well-documented risks, which include potential exposure to harmful bacteria. While these stances may appeal to certain audiences, experts warn that they could inadvertently promote unsafe practices. Another area of concern is RFK Jr.'s stance on processed foods. Although he frequently criticizes items like sugary cereals and advocates against children consuming grains, he appears inconsistent when it comes to processed meats. For example, he once implied that bacon, a product classified as a carcinogen by reputable health organizations, isn't actually processed. This contradiction highlights a broader issue. Can we trust his perspective on nutrition when it seems to lack consistency and alignment with established facts? So, how were the dietary guidelines developed in the first place? The process involves collaboration between the Department of Health Human Services. The resulting document serves as a foundation for various programs, including school lunches, government initiatives, and industry standards. The Biden administration initiated the current update cycle, and RFK Jr. has hinted that the revised guidelines might be released sooner than expected, potentially before the end of the summer. Whether this timeline is feasible remains to be seen, especially given the complexity of the task. As the debate continues, one thing is clear. Nutrition is a deeply polarizing topic, and everyone, from policymakers to everyday consumers, has a stake in getting it right. So, what do you think? Is RFK Jr.'s vision for simplified guidelines a step forward or a leap into uncharted territory? Do his past statements undermine his credibility, or should we give him the benefit of the doubt? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. For those interested in learning more about debunking common nutrition myths, check out Dr. Matthew Nagra's Instagram account, where he breaks down complex topics in an engaging and accessible way.